Am I audible? Oh. Am I audible?
Dear participants, kindly bear with us. Within few minutes, we are going to start our program.
One mark.
Respected participants, kindly bear with us. We are going to start today's session within 5 minutes. Sir, dear participants, am I audible? Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Respected participants, Dear participants, good morning, one and all. Welcome to third day morning session of 5-day FDP program. We are organizing this program in collaboration with the Commission of Collegiate Education. Today, we have 4 eminent speakers. Today morning session, we are going to have resource talk by Dr. K. Padmaja Madam and Professor R. Venkatnath sir. And at evening session, our beloved Joint Director, Dr. R. David Kumar Swami Garu and Dr. S. Babu Rajendra Prasad Garu from P.B. Siddhartha Arts and Science College. Now, I request Dr. B.V.S.K. Sastry Garu from Department of English of our college. Please introduce our first resource person, Dr. K. Padmaja Garu. Sastry Garu, please unmute your device.
Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to participate in the third day of 5-day interdisciplinary online FDP on institutional initiatives for assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP 2020. I am very happy to introduce Professor K. Padmaja, a well-known academician in and around our Andhra Pradesh. Now, she has been working in GCW Guntur, and I am very happy to give a brief introduction about our resource person of the first session. Dr. K. Padmaja works as Professor of English at GCW Guntur. She possesses more than 25 years of vast teaching experience in the institutions of higher learning. She is a teacher's teacher, no doubt. She has been rendering her duties as English language teacher trained. She has to her credit an excellent academic record in her post-graduation of Sri Venkateswara University, Tirupati, in receiving a gold medal as a topper of her branch. She is a PG/DTE holder of EFLU also. She cleared her UGC NET exam in 1996. She acquired her doctoral degree from Sri Padmavati Mahila Viswavidyalaya, Tirupati in 2010. She published more than 25 research papers in seminars and conferences. She has to her credit a book editor of several achievements. I would like to name some of her achievements: a course in lesson planning and materials development from the Middlebury Institute at Monterey, USA, December 2015 with 98%. A course in EFL assessment from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, USA in June 2012 with 96.8%. ELT Master Trainer, Student-Centered Methodology under English Language Fellow Program, US State Department of English, RELO, and Commissionerate of College Education. She is certified at C2, the highest level of CEFR, and in international scholarships, she bagged also. She published more than 25 papers, and with these remarks, I hope Professor Padmaja's presentation will enlighten all the participants in the context of NEP 2020. Last but not the least, I mentioned to say that she is the alumni of our SSN college, the Temple of Learning, and a very pet student of the erstwhile faculty of our institution. Thank you all for giving the opportunity. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am. Morning.
Sir, can I begin?
Thank you, Dr. Sastri garu. Now, I request Dr. K. Padmaja garu to deliver her resource talk. Thank you, madam. Okay, madam, you can start your
Yes.
session.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, madam, audible, and PPT is also sharing, madam.
Yes. I thank the organizers for a very good introduction about me. Thank you so much, actually, for inviting me to be. Actually, I don't call myself a resource person. Maybe I'm sharing the experiences that I have had as a teacher and as a designer of curriculum. Before I actually begin my session, I'm very glad to be a part of this program because I was a student of SSN College for 5 years. And so to be able to do something for my college, which gave me a foundation in my subject, both an intermediate and degree, because I did my intermediate as well as degree from SSN College. So it's something very exciting to me. So with these few words of introduction, I would like to go to my topic, that is outcome-based education, assuring academic excellence. Is my PPT fully visible to all of you? Should I be sharing it in a full screen mode? Is it visible, sir? Can anyone respond to me?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
Okay.
Madam, please have full screen mode, madam.
Okay, sir. I'll certainly do that. I'm somehow new to this Zoom, sir. So I really don't know how to go for a full screen mode.
You can take the assistance of our technical supporter, madam.
Actually,
Yes,
I
sir.
am sharing my screen, but
Yes,
I'm
madam.
not doing it in a PowerPoint show mode.
Madam,
Yes, sir.
madam, please click on slideshow, madam.
Yeah. 1 second, sir.
That is after transition, animation, slideshow.
Yes, sir. Actually, what I'm doing is I'm sharing my screen and I'm sharing it in design.
No, madam.
Just because of these windows, I'm not able to see slideshow thing.
Madam, on the top,
Yes,
file,
sir.
home, insert,
Yeah.
block, transition,
Design. Yes, sir.
animation, and then
Yes.
slideshow, madam.
Yes, sir. What's happening is in my laptop, I am not, because of this multiple sharing and all that, all those windows are visible. So maybe I'll stop sharing once and then I'll do it again, sir. I'll just do that.
Left side slide where click cheyandi.
Madam,
Yes, sir.
left
Yes,
side-
sir.
Now it is okay, madam.
No, I'm visible, but my screen
Madam,
is not
please
visible.
share it, madam. Please share the PPT again.
Yes, sir. I'll do that.
Left side దాని మీద click చేయమని.
Now I'm sharing my screen and
Yes, madam. It
yes,
is
sir.
going.
దాని మీద
Madam?
click చేయమని.
Yes, sir.
First slide మీద డబుల్ క్లిక్ చేయరా లెఫ్ట్ సైడ్ ఫస్ట్
Okay.
దాని డబుల్ క్లిక్ చేయండి మేడం ఓకే
Yes, sir. I did.
నో మేడం స్లైడ్ షోలో ఉంటుంది మేడం గారు
Yes, sir. What is happening is my tab, on my tab, in the top position, మన జూమ్ వి అన్ని వస్తున్నాయి సార్ సో దాని వలన నా ఇది కనిపించట్లేదు ఐ జస్ట్ ఆస్క్ ఐ జస్ట్ టేక్ 1 minute sir and then I'll get back to you just 1 minute please bear with me.
Sure, no issue, madam.
Sir, am I audible now?
Yes, madam, it is audible and we
The
are
screen also is in a full
full screen
mode.
mode, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, and sorry for the inconvenience.
No issue, madam, please.
Yeah. So the theme of our session today, actually the theme of this 5-day FDP is institutional initiatives for effective assessment and accreditation in the context of NEP. So the organizers have chosen two broad areas. One is accreditation and the other one is NEP 2020. So keeping these two broader areas, that is Naac accreditation and then NEP 2020, I wanted to share with you the efficacy of outcome-based education in its real terms. What do I mean by efficacy of outcome-based education in its real terms is, generally OBE is a word that every college uses at the time of accreditation, or maybe just 1 or 2 years before accreditation, or maybe at the time of BOS. So it is just a document for us. But what I have observed is that if we can make outcome-based education a part of our quality initiatives, an integral part of our quality initiatives, in its genuine and original terms, then it would really yield lots of benefit for student community. And so today, like, I am not here as an expert on outcome-based education. I am not. I'm here before you as a teacher who has been experimenting this with my batch of students, experimenting and revising, and then making modifications and revising. And I have seen the benefits that the students could get from OBE. So today's goals of my session are going to be these. That is, by the end of this session, you would know the basic premise of OBE, what is OBE and why OBE and how to go about OBE. And I know that most of you are framing outcomes for your curriculum if you are in autonomous colleges. But if you are not in autonomous colleges and if you are in affiliated colleges, these are something new. So how do I go about writing outcomes for my courses, or at least for my lessons, for my units, because I'm going to look at teaching learning process also. So how do we do this, especially using Bloom's taxonomy? And by the end of this session, you would be able to apply the taxonomy of Bloom's learning outcomes to your respective subjects, whatever may be the subject, in framing the curriculum, in teaching processes, and in assessment process. And you would be able to evaluate the course outcomes of your courses as per Bloom's taxonomy and map these outcomes to the program outcomes of your college. And then you would be able to analyze, evaluate your continuous internal assessment, which CCE has been guiding us for the last couple of years in a very systematic way, and your semester ending examination question items. And this also we have to analyze and evaluate as per Bloom's and map these question items to your course outcomes. And finally, you would be able to plan activities for your classroom teaching, and you'd be able to plan assessment questions as per the Bloom's taxonomy. So at every phase of this session, we would be discussing outcomes, teaching, learning, and assessment as per Bloom's taxonomy of learning outcomes. And I presume that most of you are familiar with Bloom's taxonomy, and most of you are familiar with course outcomes. Yet, I would go about each one of these aspects from a very beginner's perspective, so that you know how to write outcomes in a right way at each level of our teaching learning process, beginning at a lesson and going up to program outcomes. So the structure of my session would be, it'd be mostly in 3 to 4 parts. The first part would be talking about the theoretical aspect and major features of outcome-based education. And the second part would be focusing on how to frame our outcomes and how it is very necessary to frame the outcomes as per Bloom's taxonomy, and also see some examples. And then the third part would be, framing outcomes, and then specific outcomes, and then course outcomes at program and program specific level and course level. Maybe for your colleges, I would be sharing some examples, and then you can share the examples from your colleges. And the last one is I would like to share a case study of mapping at every level of one course or one specific program and one course throughout all the semesters, and how to map like a live example of this mapping at both teaching, assessment, and then at framing outcomes. So with this introduction to the structure of my session, I would go into the details. Why are we emphasizing so much on our OBE? We have been listening to OBE for the last few years, especially for the last 5 or 7 years, mostly. And OBE has come into a lot of focus with Naac's emphasis on OBE and making it, a part of its assessment in giving us a score. That's where we are all actually transacting with OBE. But OBE actually in the Western society, Western education system has been there for the last 2 decades. They have been experimenting. They have been actually basing all their programs and the structure of their programs on outcome-based education. Now, the OBE in Indian context is given more thrust in the latest education policy of the government of India, which is termed as New Education Policy 2020. And now these 3 statements that are presented here on the screen are actually taken from NEP 2020 document. NEP 2020 document, it says that about OBE, it says that the higher education institution should be designing appropriate curriculum and would be focusing on engaging pedagogy and then continuous formative assessment, which here we are using the term continuous internal assessment and adequate student support. So it is looking at teaching learning processes or the academics in 4 aspects. And 3 I have highlighted here. One is designing appropriate curriculum, and then choosing engaging pedagogy. Pedagogy is the teaching processes, and then appropriate and relevant continuous internal assessment. Now, New Education Policy also adds a statement saying that curriculum must be interesting to the students, relevant, and be updated with the latest knowledge to meet the learning outcomes. And I would emphasize on the last part of this statement, that is to meet the learning outcomes. Now, so what comes first? Framing learning outcomes or designing your curriculum? Which one should come first as per NEP or as per our understanding? What comes first? Should we frame outcomes first and then design curriculum, or design curriculum and then fix the outcomes? Which way is it logical? Can anyone respond? Can any one of the participants, can you please respond? Sir, am I audible? Let us make this session not a lecture one, but maybe because you're all actually engaged in teaching at higher education level, so you're also experienced in all these areas. So it will be an interesting one if you also add your ideas and your experiences to this session. So I repeat my question. So which way is the right logical one? Should we frame the outcomes first and design the curriculum, or design the curriculum first and then frame the outcomes? Which way is it really logical?
Yeah,
Sir?
good morning, madam.
Sir, good morning.
I think first we have to design our outcomes, then only we have to go for curriculum.
Yeah, exactly, sir. Exactly. That is the spirit of outcome-based education, actually. But what happens, thank you, sir. What happens in what has been happening in our colleges and universities for 4 to 5 decades is that we design the curriculum, then we think about what would be the end outcome of the curriculum. So it is actually eventual. You are not actually thinking about the student, what the student should be able to do by the end of your course or your program. So first, so that's why OBE is also named as designing down. You fix first the outcomes and then design the curriculum at program level, then design the curriculum at course level, and then go to the unit and lesson level. So this emphasis on framing the outcomes has been gaining a lot of momentum in the recent years in the context of Indian educational system. It is not just enough that you frame your outcomes. NEP says that pedagogical practices should determine the learning experiences that directly influence learning outcomes. Framing right kind of outcome is not enough. Matching right kind of teaching practice for the intended learning outcome, only that ensures or gives a guarantee for the successful the success of the intended learning outcome. So teaching learning practices, teaching learning processes are very important. That is the third point that NEP 2020 emphasizes. Now we move on to Naac. What does Naac say? These are also statements from Naac's directives for colleges while planning for AQARs. These are the statements that I observe when I try to submit the AQR of my college. Naac guides the institution saying that, what are the initiatives of your college in transforming the curriculum towards OBE? So Naac is looking for the colleges to take decisive steps. It is looking at the colleges in directing the colleges, in asking the colleges that the curriculum of the colleges should be aimed at OBE. That is, the curriculum should be transformed towards OBE. And the next one is, Naac asks us to document our efforts, the efforts of the college in capturing OBE. What is the institution doing in its teaching learning practices? How are these teaching learning practices are towards outcome-based education? And it is asking us, each institution, to share its good practices in relation to OBE, especially in view of NEP. So both these documents, either the Naac assessment or NEP 2020, both of them are focusing on OBE. And in course of my presentation, we would know why this kind of an emphasis is laid on OBE. Now, the last bullet of my presentation in this slide is sharing the score, the practical accreditation weightage that is given to OBE. Affiliated colleges have a total of 45 score marks, and then whereas autonomous colleges have 30 weightage. So even in the point of view accreditation also, Naac accreditation also, it's very important that we move towards OBE, and also our documentation of OBE is accurate. Right, and now let's see what is OBE and how do we go about it. The academic activity of a college should be going around this point. What would our students be able to do? by the end of their degree or by the end of their stay in our colleges for 3 years or 4 years, what would a student be able to do? That should be the focus in designing every academic activity as per OBE. Now, what should we do for that? How do we go about deciding what the student would be able to do? Now, the word able to do it looks very simple. What would the student be able to do? What can the student do? Or what can the student, or what would the student exhibit at the end of his learning experiences? Generally, our curriculum has been focusing on knowledge, which is the first point here. Knowledge, and then but OBE says that it is not just the knowledge, it is skills and abilities that the student should be able to demonstrate at the end of significant or identified learning experiences. So OBE gives equal importance to knowledge, skills, and abilities. Our curriculum all these years has been focusing on knowledge. And so our examination system, our syllabus, everything generally focuses on what knowledge the student would be able to display. But the student would gain the prospects of employability or the ability to do something in the world outside, in the community outside, only when the student is equipped with skills and abilities. So as members of higher educational institutions, as teachers, what is our role? We have to plan the curriculum, the instruction and assessment. These are the three key areas which we should be focusing on to ensure the outcomes, the successful achievement of the outcomes. So what is the student doing? Observe, all our discussion has been on what would the student do? What can the student do? The center of teaching learning activity in OBE is student, not the teacher. Teacher is a facilitator. I believe that Varalakshmi ma'am's session yesterday must have given you lots of inputs on how OBE is steering towards student-centered instruction or student-centered methodology. So I'm not going deep into that area, but how the focus is on students' performance, that is what I am laying emphasis on. So the student is a performer and the student is doing something, performing. So the focus of academic activity is on performance, the student doing something. Generally, all our classrooms, even now, I know majority of classrooms is about teacher telling something, teacher lecturing, teacher completing the syllabus, teacher explaining something. So from the teacher's point of view, OBE is steering us towards students' performance. So whatever the activities and tasks that you as a teacher would set up in the classroom, they just become a medium for effective performance of student. Excuse me. So the center of academic activity in OBE or as per OBE is the student. So how do we go about planning our outcomes? This diagram gives us a very umbrella view of how to go about framing our outcomes. Outcomes are not, isolated. As teachers, during the BOS, I frame my course outcomes, but I am ignorant of the vision, mission of the college. I am ignorant of the program outcomes of the college. It is not disassociated like that. Everything is interconnected, and this diagram shows that. First, we fix the vision, mission of the institution. and your program outcomes and program educational outcomes are aligned to your vision mission. They must be aligned to your vision mission. And then, basing on your program outcomes, you would have your program specific outcomes, right? We would look at each one of these when I take you into the details of the session. And your course outcomes are a result. They would be interconnected. They descend from program outcomes and program specific outcomes. Now, if you observe course outcomes, they are interconnected. That is, your designing of the course outcomes are influenced by the feedback from the industry, feedback from the students, which is missing here, and then feedback from other stakeholders. Even your program outcomes also, they are influenced when the industry and other stakeholders would express the need for one kind of a student performance, then we would certainly include them in our program outcomes. So then automatically, when basing on the feedback from the stakeholders, our course outcomes are also designed like that. And then we engage in teaching learning process. And here at the level of teaching learning process, we may interact with the industry in case of some courses. So we might take the help of the technology tools. And then after teaching learning process, it takes us to evaluation. And evaluation, when we observe the outcome of the evaluation, it may take us back once again to teaching learning process and to course outcomes. So in some ways it is cyclical, and we would see that in the forthcoming part of the session. Now, in the Indian context, the outcomes, the basis for program outcomes and other program specific outcomes are based on the LOCF document of the UGC. Most of you must have seen this document, LOCF document. Can anyone tell me what is this? Have you actually accessed this document? LOCF document talks about designing outcomes by the higher educational institutions at the program level, program specific level, and even course level. Because LOCF document, the UGC website has LOCF documents for all the major disciplines. Many of you must have accessed these documents while designing the curriculum at your colleges, if you are part of autonomous colleges. So any ideas what is LOCF document or what is LOCF framework? This document is Learning Outcomes Curricular Framework. This is the name of the document that was brought out by the UGC in 2000. I think it was brought out in 2018. By 2019, all the major disciplines have this LOCF document, which is used by many colleges across the country. And while designing curriculum for autonomous colleges, many colleges use this document. So what does this framework say? UGC LOCF document talks about graduate attributes. What are graduate attributes? The qualities that are to be seen, that must be reflected in a graduate by the time the student completes his undergraduate program and leaves the institution. So these are the qualities that must be reflected in a graduate. I'll be sharing them. These are from the UGC document itself. And then you have qualification descriptors, means the words which describe the qualifications that the students possess. Means what are the qualities that the student should be possessing with so-and-so qualification. I'll be sharing even those points. And then program outcomes and then course outcomes. So let me take you to graduate attributes. These are once again from the UGC document, LOCF document. These are knowledge. These attributes, these qualities, these features, they include knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values that a graduate should possess throughout his studies as he completes his studies at NHEI. Now, what are they? I have highlighted them. The student should be possessing these abilities for widening his current knowledge base and skills, gaining new knowledge, undertaking future studies, performing well in a chosen career, playing a constructive role. Now, if you take a close look at these attributes, they are not discipline specific. They are general umbrella terms which every student should be possessing by the time he becomes a graduate. So it is talking about, expanding one's knowledge base and skills, and then getting new knowledge and skills, and then to gain the ability to take up future studies, that is going for graduation or research, and then maybe to be able to do well in a career, in a job, and then play a role as a responsible citizen. So see the wide gamut of qualities that a graduate is expected to possess. Now we have to look at our own selves, our own graduates. Do they possess these things? If they do not, then as academicians, as academic administrators, what should we do for our students to display these qualities or these abilities or these attributes by the end of their graduation? Now, UGC lists these graduate attributes. These are some of the all of the graduate attributes that are listed by the UGC. Now, as an educational institution, as a HEI, you can take many of them and then include them in your program outcomes. It doesn't mean that we would have all these graduate attributes in our program outcomes, because program outcomes are automatically aligned to graduate attributes. So maybe some of these are there in your program outcomes, in your college program outcomes. So these are the general abilities that a student should be able to display by the time he graduates. Now, what are qualification descriptors? Now, these also I have taken from the UGC document. And the document, this one is for a non-honors program. Most of the programs that we have offered so far, all of the programs in AP that we have offered so far till 2023 are non-honors programs. So we didn't have single major, we didn't have honors programs. So for such kind of a programs, what are the qualification descriptors? So the highlighted words would show the qualification descriptor. That is a specific qualification. So the student would demonstrate a coherent understanding of an academic field of study, procedural knowledge. Here, your particular discipline would enter, and we have different kinds of undergraduate programs. We have management programs, we have non-professional programs, we have professional programs. So depending upon each area, you would design qualification descriptors. Naac is not emphasizing in a college in submitting these two, qualification descriptors or graduate attributes, but we would be planning our program outcomes based on the previous two, that is graduate attributes and qualification descriptors. So what are the stages when I plan outcomes? What are the stages that should be considered? We plan outcomes first at the level of program, and then at the level of a specific program. And the specific program terminology, I did not find it in UGC LOCF document, but Naac document, the Naac manual says that program specific outcomes are also necessary, and we are all planning program specific outcomes. Then we plan course outcomes, unit outcomes, and lesson outcomes. Now, the terms program and course are often confused by many of the teachers. Even after many years of Naac accreditation, when I go to colleges as a resource person or as a part of accreditation process, teachers are still confused in with this nomenclature. Course is a paper, right? For example, as it is shown here, Programming in Java is a paper in the field of computer science. So that is a course. Or even computer science itself can be a course when you have 3 major programs. So course is your paper or is a subject. Program is, a combination of all these courses. You have a BA program, you have a BCom program, and you have a BSc program. So program and course are defined in a very clear-cut terms by the Naac. So we would be planning outcomes at a program level and PSO level and CO level. But when you want to plan your outcomes, as a resource person, many a times I'm asked to check the documents, Naac documents of colleges, especially the BOS documents or OBE documents. And then I observe that most of the departments or most of the faculty do not frame these outcomes in a very scientific way. Generally, when you plan outcomes, your outcomes should be beginning, the outcome should be beginning with a verb, right? But most of the outcomes that I have seen in many colleges, and also the outcome should be beginning with what student would be doing. But I have seen in many colleges what will happen there, or what the teacher would do, or what the course would do. So let us see how, see how we can plan in a very scientific way if we take the guidance of Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy is something that Office of CCE has been time and again, including in all of its TOT sessions or FDP sessions. So I believe that I don't need to go into the details of Bloom's taxonomy of learning outcomes. So can anyone respond? I guess most of you are familiar with this because for the last couple of years, there have been many sessions by the CCE as part of TOTs or as part of FDPs. And then there are many experts who were discussing Bloom's learning outcomes. So, okay, to give a brief discussion, Bloom's taxonomy of learning outcomes would talk about 6 levels. That is, the learning process would be a complete one only when all the 6 stages are included. The first, if you observe the pyramid, the first 2 stages, which most of the higher education institutions are focusing, are at the level of recall and understanding, right? These 2 are at the lowest levels of the pyramid. That is, we teach the concepts, and the students, we give the information, we give the input in the form of knowledge, and the students show their comprehension. So it is at the lower levels, but it is very important. This level is very important. That is why it is at the base of the pyramid. And our teaching learning process should be moving towards the top of this pyramid. That is, whatever knowledge, whatever input of the concept that is given, the student should be able to apply it in a new context, and then should be able to analyze and then evaluate and then create new knowledge. I'll be moving on to the next slide because this is the latest one as per 2015 or 2021. Here you would see that the learning outcomes are given in terms of verbs. You will see that the previous slide shows them in the form of nouns, and here we find them in the form of verbs. And students' learning moves on from the lowest level of the pyramid, from remembering, understanding, to creating new knowledge. Now, why is this important? Creating new knowledge. Now, the revision for Bloom's taxonomy has taken place in 2001, and creation of new knowledge is given a lot of importance. Why is this important? Creation of new knowledge by the student is why is it considered important? The workplace that the student has to experience or face or encounter, or the society where the student has to, be an independent entrepreneur or an employee. There, the student is expected to handle new situations and also create as part of his job to perform something new. So if our classroom teaching learning includes all these 6 stages, then it becomes very effective. And why am I focusing on all these 6 levels of taxonomy, even with reference to outcomes, framing outcomes? Because your framing of outcomes should be carrying all these 6 levels. So why Bloom's taxonomy? Because they address all the cognitive domains. It is not just understanding, it is not just application, but it is also evaluation, and it is also creating new knowledge. That is why your outcomes should be aligned to all the cognitive domains. Especially when you're planning program outcomes, we have to ensure that it has all the 6 cognitive domains. And when you are planning your course outcomes also, some part of your outcome should be there as per the last point, that is creation. Now, what should we do? You should be mapping your teaching and assessment processes as per the 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. And also, when we do this, when we map our outcomes, the outcomes that we design, our teaching process, teaching learning activities, and our examination system to these cognitive domains, then it would be qualitative. The course that you're offering or the teaching learning experiences of the students would be qualitative. Now, I have been giving you only the theoretical principles behind this. Let me share an example in the following sections. Now, OBE is actually expertly discussed by Spady in 1994. He has done extensive research, and all the OBE documentations or discussions are generally based on Spady's book. And Spady, in his discussion, mentions one point, that students should be given expanded opportunities for turning out to be a successful learner and to be successful in one's life. Now, what are expanded opportunities? Expanded opportunities are variety of learning experiences in classroom. And how can you give this variety of learning experiences? By planning your classroom activity on the various stages, based on the various stages of the Bloom's cognitive domains. Right. Let us look at some specific examples of program outcomes. So what are they? These are specific statements which describe that students, what students are expected to know and would be able to do by the time of their graduation, which we've already discussed. So what should they be aligned to? The vision and mission of the college. Now, I am sharing a case study, an example of my college outcomes with you. Now, this is the vision statement of my college, Government College for Women, Guntur. So the vision statement talks about empowering women students, especially who are predominantly rural students and who are also from semi-educated and marginal sections of the society. And what do we want our students to emerge as? They should possess 21st century skills, and they should turn out to be global citizens, but they should possess values and a holistic personality. This is the vision of our college. And these are the mission statements. Now, if we observe the mission statements, they reflect some of the graduate attributes that we have seen from the UGC document, and also some of the program outcomes that we would be sharing with you. For example, see something like skills and knowledge critical and creative thinking skills, and we would like to provide participatory learning experiences to students and things like that. Now, these are the mission statements with which we would like to achieve our vision. Now, how can we achieve our vision with the help of these mission statements? They should get reflected in our program outcomes. Now, if you see our program outcomes, most of the aspects of our mission statements get reflected in our program outcomes. And if you observe each one of these statements, they begin with an action word, right? We say that our students will acquire knowledge and hard skills that display the application of domain-specific knowledge and skills. So this is the first outcome, which is the most essential one, because the student should be able to possess domain-specific knowledge and skills. And by the end of the program or by the end of the graduation, he should be reflecting the acquisition. This is an action word. Now, when you compare it with Bloom's taxonomy, it is at L1, knowledge only. But I'm not going to go into the outcomes, the total outcomes of our college. We have planned 10 outcomes, if you see this, right? So 1 to 5, if you observe PO1 to PO5, all of them have started with an action word. When we frame our outcomes, they should begin with an action word. And these action words, you can find a big list of these action words on the internet in any good university website. They provide action words as per Bloom's taxonomy of learning outcomes for framing outcomes. You get a big list. Even our college also, we consulted some of the good universities, and then after that we framed these, but we tried maximum to align them to our college vision and mission statements. Now, if you observe all these outcomes from 1 to 5, they have various levels of Bloom's, L1 to L3, L4, and L6. And then if I take, even here, you'll find most of them, all of the Bloom's cognitive domains. Now, every outcome is framed with an action word. Then we move on to program-specific outcomes. I've already mentioned to you that these are specifically mentioned by Naac, and we have this both for combination programs or even for single major programs. What are they? These are a result of the global or encompassing outcomes of the discipline-specific courses. For example, we have BSc Botany, Zoology, and Chemistry. So those are the 3 domain core courses: Botany, Zoology, and Chemistry. So your program-specific outcomes would be focusing on these 3 major courses, 3 majors, that is Botany, Zoology, and Chemistry. Here, I am sharing the program-specific outcomes of the maths department of our college. Once again, if you observe, they begin with the action words like demonstrate, apply, construct, synthesize, and develop. Now, if you observe, we have planned 10 program outcomes, and we have come down to 5 program-specific outcomes. Since we are all planning for accreditation, when I refer to many documents and many autonomous colleges or AICTE guidelines or NBA guidelines or some of the very important documents, research documents that are brought out by N.J. Rao, he is on the expert team of the Naac committee, and he has also suggested that it is good that we limit our PSOs to a maximum of 3 to 5. Why is it so? When it is very helpful when we go for computation and attainment. Now, And when I observed many of the colleges, each department is coming out with a different set of program outcomes. But when I studied many documents, I've observed that college will have one set of program outcomes. We have to note this point that it becomes easy for the college also, because I am talking from Naac's point of view also, that college as a whole should have one set of program outcomes, and these are decided by the IQAC of the college. IQAC of the college should decide the program outcomes. Then who decides the PSOs? The concerned departments. For example, if you are writing PSOs for BZC, then the 3 departments will come together and then write. Now, what is going to happen from 23-24 onwards? We are going to have single major programs. So then Maths department itself will write its own PSOs. So PSOs would refer to domain-specific knowledge in clear-cut terms. If you observe, you would see Maths teachers, whoever are there here in this session, would understand that the tangible concepts are mentioned here in clear-cut terms. But when you observe program outcomes, there was no reference to any specific subject. Whereas in PSOs, you'll find reference to the concepts of specific subjects. Right. Now I'm sharing because I would take you through the communicative English course, because that is the course that I would handle at my college. So I show you how we have aligned. These are the program specific outcomes of CE communicative English. And we have planned 3 in our department. We planned 3. And if you observe, the learning outcomes, when we planned these outcomes, you see them a little lengthy also, because we are trying to cover 7 courses as per 2021 revised APSHE CBCS syllabus. Each subject will have 7 papers, 7 courses. So trying to cover all these 7, but in a very compact way, because this is essential when we are trying to compute and show the attainment. So these are the PSOs. And if you observe these PSOs and go into the details, they are there from L1 to L6. All levels of cognitive domains are there in the PSO1. Let me just discuss only PSO1. Students will be able to examine and explain will fall at L2. The fundamental concepts of origins and functions of language. These are the topics that students have. So they are the concepts. Fundamentals of phonetics, linguistics, English language teaching, and demonstrate the competencies in simulated contexts. And I would like to focus here on demonstrate. They would show their abilities, their skills in simulated contexts, in contexts that are created, contexts like role plays and situations where students have to speak or listen or write. So starting from knowledge and understanding, L1 and L2, they'll have to apply all these concepts. They'll have to synthesize, that is, all these, whatever they have learned, they'll have to compare and they'll have to synthesize and then show their new knowledge in a simulated situation. So my PSO1 has created all 6 cognitive domains of Bloom's. But it is not necessary that you cover all 6 cognitive domains in one. But I felt that is easy when I am trying to map and also when I am trying to compute. Now this PSO1, it gets mapped with the PO1, PO3 and PO4 of my college POs. And I've shown even that mapping also. So similarly, PSO2 and PSO3, this is about communicative English. Now I'm taking you to course outcomes. These are sample outcomes of some course which I've taken from online of some university. The title of the course is Marketing of Services. And the college has shown these are the outcomes. They have given 5 outcomes, course outcomes. Observe the action words, understand, discuss, examine, analyze, and visualize. They did not map the learning outcomes, but when I mapped their course outcomes with the Bloom's taxonomy, I found most of their outcomes are at the level of L2. 3 of them are at L2, 2 of them are at L4. They don't have anything at L5 and L6, but we should try to take at least one outcome to the level of L5 and L6. So this course could be improved from the student point of view and from quality point of view by adding one aspect of the higher HOT learning aspects, that is the cognitive domain L5 and L6, that is evaluation and creation. Right, this is once again from my college. And if you observe, maths department 1, I have taken describe, this is L2, and then determine, this is L4 or L5, even this is L5. Compute and construct is L6. So why am I emphasizing time and again on this aspect? The course will be strong only when all the cognitive domains are, or at least, you know, from L1 and L2 anyway we'll have. From L3 and L4 and from L5 and L6, you should have at least one outcome. Only then your course would be strong. And now once again, this is my course, Communicative English. I have shown, and if you see, you'll find L1, L2, L3, L6 also, right? So I'll show a mapping. I'll take you from here onwards to the mapping. Why should we map? OBE is a continuous process. You would decide learning outcomes, and to achieve these outcomes, you plan activities as part of teaching learning process, and you would see whether you have succeeded in gaining these outcomes or whether the student succeeded in achieving these outcomes through assessment. Now, if you see this figure, it shows a cyclical process. Assessment is done, and from assessment, you find that the students have not successfully achieved. Then you go back to the activities, you revise your activities, you plan, you revise your teaching once again, and then you conduct assessment once again. And after the assessment, you take it to learning outcomes. Maybe you will have to revise outcomes also if there is a gap. So this is a cyclical process. How to do that? Now we looked at this framework. We have designed the program and the syllabus. Now we have to go to the teaching learning process. I'm taking you to the second stage. Now, what aspect should we be emphasizing at the level of teaching learning process? You should be focusing on student-centric pedagogies, student-centric methods. You should be focusing on active teaching methods or participatory, whose participation? Students' participation. And you should be involving more of group work, more of involving the students, more of group work, practicum, and field-based learning. And if you observe NEP 2020, it has included most of these things. It wants us to send students to the field. It wants the students to be involved in internships. It wants the students to be involved in practical and field-based learning. That is why we have internships, CSP, and OJT. Okay, now I am sharing one lesson from a computer science course. If your course in HTML has all these stages, then it is addressing all the levels of Bloom's taxonomy. The first part of your lesson, this is not limited to one particular stage. This can run throughout, maybe for a few hours, maybe for a unit. If you have, the first part explains, that is L1, you explain about HTML, and then that is you're giving the input. The teacher is giving the input. And then students explain, so they show their understanding. Then students apply their knowledge and apply their knowledge in understanding the basic web page. And then students investigate additional features. Then they create something completely new. So if you observe this lesson, they are doing all, they are actually experiencing all the 6 levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So when we design teaching learning activities, we have to make sure that all the levels of Bloom's taxonomy are incorporated. Now, when I come to the course that I am sharing, Communicative English, this is how my course is designed, and these are the highlighted ones are the teaching learning activities that are a part of the course that we offer. So CO1, to achieve the CO1, these are the teaching learning activities. Maybe I'm just giving teaching input, maybe through lecture, through video, and through presentations. But when I come to the achievement of CO2, the most of the activities, the students have to listen, because what does my CO say? They would apply and use mechanics of listening and speaking. So I would use lots of in-class listening and lots of in-class speaking in pair and group activities. And I would do that through blended online mode and blended classes and even flipped mode also. And this ensures that the students that the students are participating and they're collaborating. And then if you observe the next ones also, the next COs also, they have teaching learning activities which are participatory and collaborative. And even Unit 4 also has experiential, experimental, they have experiential, participatory, and collaborative. So the emphasis in OBE is not just in designing outcomes. I share it again, but it is on designing appropriate teaching learning activities. So this is what that a teacher can do. And then we move on to assessment. We looked at teaching learning, and then we have to move on to assessment, which is very important according to me. Which is very important because I say that most of the times in our educational institutions, in our universities, the problem is with the question paper. The problem is with the kind of testing that we are doing. Now, what is what OBA? This is the term that is used by Spady, that is designing or outcome-based assessment. That is, this assessment should make sure that what students would do at the end of the assessment. And your testing should give evidence that they're able to do what you are asking them to do. I'll share some examples once again from my course. So what are the assessment methods that you can count on as part of effective assessment? Especially they focus on formative assessment. So these are some of the assessments that you can have. Our traditional exam or open book exam or problem-based practical assignments or projects or case studies or seminars or Viva voce interviews, etc. These are all different kinds of assessments that one should be adapting. But most of the times colleges have only 2 types. One is paper-based examination, rarely Viva voce, and then science students or science teachers, science subjects have practical examination. Now, why should we map learning outcomes and assessments? Most of the times we have recall and understanding questions. Our question paper rarely, very rare, sometimes they have application and analysis questions, but I hardly found any evaluation or creation questions. Let me share some examples. These are from physics and mathematics. I have sourced them from some university question papers. And these are the questions that are generally given because I am the academic coordinator in my college. And when I examine the BOS copies of my colleagues, mostly these are the questions. List, explain, describe, discuss, write an essay, Only these kind of questions are given. Some subjects in science, they go for classifications, compare and contrast, or, figure out something, find out something, analyze and then say something. Such kind of questions are found at times, maybe 20 to 30% in a question paper. This kind of questions are hardly found in our question papers. Design an experiment to investigate how the speed of a meteorite, this is from physics, affects the size of a crater. Student has to do a lot of research, lot of analysis, lot of comparison, and then come to conclusions on his own or her own. All these questions that I shared here are like that. When I shared these questions as part of previous FDPs in some places, most of the teachers said that, ma'am, where do we have time for such kind of questions in our traditional examination system? Yeah, you need not give them in your semester ending examinations or even in your midterm examinations, but give this as an activity for your seminar or for your term paper or like a small project. That would certainly address L5 and L6. But these kind of questions are rarely incorporated in our question papers. That is why the advice by most of the people is maybe you can make it as part of your formative assessment. Now coming to mapping. So a CO is mapped to PO and PSO. Now, what is the next step of mapping? Your CO should be mapped to the question. Now, this is how you will map. Now, this is a question paper from a semester ending examination. Now, what is this question? What is the difference between phoneme and allophone? This is the question. This is at the level of L2 in Bloom, and the CO that is mapped is CO1. Why do we need this? Why should we do this? If you observe the mapping with Bloom's, your question paper is balanced. L1 is there, L2 is there, L3 and L4 also are there, and L6 also is there. So your question paper addresses lower order skills and higher order skills. This is a balanced question paper. This is how the blueprint of your question paper should be. Now, when I see the blueprint of question papers of many colleges, they just mention weightage blueprint, unit-wise division blueprint, or is it an MCQ or is an essay question blueprint? That's all. But that blueprint conspicuously misses Bloom's levels and COs. Now, what is the problem if a CO is absent? For example, I have 4 COs. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 COs for my course. My exam is testing all the 4 COs. Imagine 1 CO is absent. 1 CO is missing. Then your exam is partial. You are not testing all the intended outcomes. And so you are not making sure that the students are focusing on all the 4 outcomes and are successful in achieving all the 4 outcomes. That's why it is very important that you map it with Bloom's level and map it with CO. And I feel that mapping with Bloom's level is very, very important. Only then it can be called a blueprint, a qualitative blueprint. And this is very important for your documentation of OBE also. Right. Now I mapped the same with internal examination question paper, mid-examination question paper. Here also you see all the 4 COs and most of the Bloom's levels. There might be a question from some of you, ma'am, is it really possible to map all the COs in one mid question paper? May not be. It may not be. So limit it maybe to 2 COs, CO1 and CO2, and then try to have at least L1 to L4 questions, if not L6 in one mid. So that you can make sure. Then I am showing here mapping even with assignments and seminars and projects. This is as per CCE-CIA. CCE-CIA says 2 mid examinations, which should have multiple choice questions, short answer questions and short essay questions, and there should be 5 assignments, and there should be a seminar project, etc. So this is as per that. And if you observe, most of the Bloom's levels are covered, especially higher levels. Most of the assignments have higher levels, application levels or creation levels. And most of the COs are covered. All of the COs are covered, even in this assessment. Now, your mid 1, mid 2, your assignments, your seminars, your semester ending examinations are, that means 5 times you are covering your COs. The student is getting reinforcement through all these testing processes. That ensures good outcome of your learning outcomes. Right. I observed, Varalakshmi ma'am is there on my BOS or in my academic council. So I was sharing with her that during the previous batches curriculum, I found that this part is missing in most of the L6 is missing, because my paper is about language skills. It's about speaking, it's about listening, it's about reading. But my examination system did not contain actual listening, actual reading, and actual speaking. So in our BOS, we revised our outcomes when we included actual speaking, listening, real life speaking and listening, and we made it into a practical. We introduced this a couple of years ago, and the testing in our practical is always at L6, because they have to speak, they have to read, they have to listen, actual real life English speaking, and they have to respond. So, and 2 COs are mapped here, and I would like to share the outcome of this kind of reinforced mapping with COs and Bloom's levels in the forthcoming slide. So far in our presentation, we looked at this stage: learning outcomes, planning learning outcomes, and then teaching learning process, and then your examination system. But I have not covered attainment. I have covered only mapping, not attainment. My sessions have not covered attainment. I have covered only mapping of your COs with your teaching, with your examination, with your POs, and with your PSOs. That's it. Attainment is a very important aspect, which I guess other resource persons would be touching in the future sessions. Now, I would like to share with you some tangible outcomes of this kind of mapping at every level of the curriculum, from POs to PSOs to COs to teaching and examination system. When I ensured this kind of a mapping, I had 14 students in CE in the last year, and 7 of them got placement, as I focused on L6 and skill acquisition. 7 of them got placement at ILM Bangalore with a monthly pay of 30,000. And then out of 16 students in my class, 1 student got a seat with FLU, Hyderabad, and she got a seat from among 20 seats at national level. Now, why am I mentioning this? As I am not taking you to the computation and attainment, I'm just trying to share with you the end result that we can have, qualitative result that can be seen in students, because getting this kind of a result I experienced has become possible only when I ensured that all these multiple levels of mapping at multiple levels. So the next phase is mapping to attainment. The quality loop that we have been trying to focus on can be completed only when your attainment is computed and your gaps are analyzed, and you address these gaps through quality measures. So this shows us that it is a continuous process. You have to compute your outcomes, outcome attainment, then you would find automatically some gaps. That's what I showed you through a case study. I found a gap, and that I addressed it with a practical, with the inclusion of a practical and with the inclusion of a L6 outcome as part of one of my learning outcomes, then the course has become quite qualitative. Mapping and attainment thus must be made an authentic quality assurance measure and not just a Naac score gaining document. This is how I feel personally. IQACs of the colleges should insist on making COPO mapping a regular process of their quality initiatives and not just for Naac accreditation. What I mean by this is we generally, we become aware of these things or we work hard on these things only during the 4th year of our accreditation. That is, every 5 years we have to go for accreditation. So 3 years complete chestamu. 4th year we start working on. So just for the sake of Naac, we do a documentation. Just for the scoring, we do documentation. But I believe that if we make this mapping and attainment a continuous process of quality measures in our colleges, outcomes would be very amazing. So with this sharing of a case study of my college, I thank everyone for your patient listening. And if there are questions, you're most welcome. Thank you so much.
Now, I request Dr. B.V.S.K. Sastry garu to handle question answer session.
Thank you, ma'am, for your wonderful presentation on assuming academic excellence. Your presentation has enlightened us, all the participants, in the context of NEP 22. Now, it is the question time to all the participants. Anyone can raise their hands.
Respected participants, if anybody have queries, please raise your hand. Yeah, okay. Dear participants, if anybody have queries, you may ask, or you may raise your question.
I thank all the participants for your kind compliments, but it would be good if you add some points for discussion or, add your own experiences or maybe questions if you have. Okay. Yeah, there is a question saying that who has to write PS4 for a single major? That's what somebody has said.
One question from Madhavi Marreddy, GDC, madam.
Yes, sir.
Madam, who to write PS4 for single major and who is introduced in the academic year?
Yeah. So from current academic year, we have single majors, 23-24 onwards. So the department concerned, for example, if it is BA economics department will write PS4s. Because you have almost for 6 semesters, you have almost 15 papers covering economics. So economics department has to plan PS4s covering all these 15 courses. Is this answer satisfactory, ma'am? Do you get the answer that you needed?
Fine, madam.
Yeah.
Now, is there any question from our participants? Thank you, madam. And now, behalf of our SSN College management, our president, Sri Kapilava Vijayakumar Garu, and our college secretary and correspondent, and ex-municipal chairperson of Narasaraopet, Sri Narasaraopet Gupta garu, and our college principal, Dr. Smallai garu, and my good friend, Dr. P.S. Sai garu, who is IPC coordinator of this our college. From all our side, we thank you, madam. You have given a wonderful talk, and you have touched each and every corner, and a very good explanation. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
And now I request another eminent personality, and who is a philosopher, guide, and my research supervisor is none other than Ratnagaram Venkatanath garu. Now I request my colleague Dr. B.V.S. Sastry garu to introduce to the audience. Sastry garu, please unmute your device.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce Professor R. Venkatanath to this session. Sir has awarded 12 PhDs and 4 MPhils with a vast 27 years of teaching and research experience. He published 94 publications and 5 are accepted. He authored 4 books and 9 book chapters. He filed 2 patents with a vast teaching experience, and he was funded by the UGC for 5 major and minor projects. He guided 4 projects, and it is remarkable to announce that he bagged excellent award in state level and national level. He bagged several awards, and one more feather is in his cap. He is member on various boards of universities and colleges. And he delivered several lectures, talks, and keynote addresses in a considerable number of seminars and conferences, more than 37 in national and international level. I am very happy to announce a very multifaceted, talented person, an author of 4 books and 9 chapters in various books also. And one more thing I would like to mention, our sir is, by and large, it is a matter of pride and pleasure to announce that sir has 93 research publications, witnessing his industrious teaching and research experience. With these remarks, I hope Professor R. Venkatnath sir's presentation will enlighten all the participants to the core in the context of NEP 2020. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity. Now, over to Venkatnath sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sastry Garu, for your kind words.
Thank you.
Okay, let me know whether the screen is shared or not.
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, screen is shared.
Yes, sir. Screen is also sharing, sir.
Okay. Let me move for slide share. Now slides are moving.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Slides are changing, right?
Fine, sir. Fine. Fine. Sir.
Then fine. So first of all, I'm so thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to discuss something with all of you. Okay, today I'm going to have a little bit discussion with all of you regarding the World University Rankings as well as accreditations, mainly at a global level as well as a program level. How this NEP 2020 is going to help us. So this one I'm going to focus today. I think most of you, whenever you have gone through the newspaper, you might be observed like this. Okay, how the higher education ranking has to be reinvented in view of the NEP 2020. And probably you have gone through some of the blogs where the blogs are going to give the information that the NEP 2020, how it is going to convert our universities into global universities and inviting the global universities to our India. And then this is the one which shows the very well-known and probably already you have gone through, that is the salient features of NEP 2020, where it is discussing about internationalization. Internationalization means how the top world universities can open their what is called campuses on our India, as well as similarly how our organizations can move to others. And those who have gone through the newspapers recently, they are very well aware that the University Grants Commission has given some of the highlighting points. If any candidate is able to get a PhD degree from the foreign university, that too top 500 world university rankings. What are those top 500 university rankings? It may be QS, Quarterly Simon's ranking, or THE, the higher education ranking, or ARWU, that is the academic ranking of world universities. So if any candidate is able to get his PhD degree from any one of these top 500 world university ranking universities, then the direct recruitment is possible. Here the direct recruitment, this is the press information, and this is the UGC Gazette also, the notification which was released in 2018 regarding the minimum qualifications. Here you can see that the candidate who is holding the PhD degree, they are permissible to the posts of either university or college. They are exempted from the entrance exams. I think already you are aware that whether it is a lecturer post or assistant professor post in universities, everyone has to undergo the entrance examination followed by interview. Whereas these candidates are exempted from the written examination, directly they can move to the interview, and also weightage will be given. So all these gives the information that there is a very good importance for the world university rankings. What are these world university rankings? We are going to discuss about each and every point, starting from their concepts, types, what are their criteria, etc., etc. Whenever we take this university ranking concept, actually it has begun in the Middle Ages itself. But nowadays, okay, the main aim at those days was there was a huge competition was there to attract the good scholars to their universities and then to get the funding. So for these two cases, they used to go for the good university ranking. Of course, at that time, there was no clear-cut ranking system was there, as now it is available. Now we are able to emerge very good institution ranking system. If you look at the background of this, university ranking systems, it was started almost, we can say, in 1860s. The European studies mainly used to assess the quality of the institutions and as well as scholars in the fields of medicine and education. Whereas the ranking continued in 1920s in the case of USA, America, in the form of faculty surveys. And then you can find that one of the newspaper, that is US News and World Report, okay, it has published a very good transparent comparative data on the institutions over a period of 20 years. And of course, whenever we see these rankings, definitely there will be some controversies will be there, and there will be involving of subjectivity will be there. In spite of that, day by day, there is an increase for the demand at the regional level, national level, global level regarding this ranking system. So here we can say that at the world level, around 50 major ranking systems are available. And then if you look at those rankings, who are giving these rankings? Rankings are given by some of the newspapers and magazines, some of the universities, that is academic institutions, and the government organizations, accreditation bodies, and non-government organizations also there. And some of the academic institutions themselves, they announce the ranking. What are the examples of these one by one? If you look at the newspapers and magazines, already we have seen even in the Gazette of UGC, the THE, the higher education ranking, QS ranking. These are very well known two rankings. These rankings are given by the newspapers and magazines itself. As already we have seen that the Newsweek and US News World Reports, which were given over a long period of so many decades, they are also from newspapers. As far as the universities are concerned, this is one of the very well-known one, that is a Shanghai University ranking, and the next one is Wuhan University ranking. Both are from China. The government agencies are giving one of the very well-known at our national level, that is the NIRF. That is also one of the government agency. And then there are some accrediting bodies are there, like HEACT, which is an accreditation council from the Taiwan. In addition to that, the non-government organizations like QUA, that is a quality assessment, whatever is that, which is from UK, and Google, etc. All of them are giving these rankings. Of course, there are, as I said, that there are prominent more than 50 ranking organizations are there, but out of all them, so these are very famous, which we are going to discuss today. So one of the first one is ARWU, Academic Ranking of World Universities. Actually, this is given by, already we have seen that one of the university from China, that is Shanghai Jiaotong University. So this Shanghai University gives the ARWU ranking. This QS World University ranking, already we have seen. THE, the World University ranking by Times newspaper. And then SCImago, this is very well known to all of those who are involved in publishing. Whenever we publish the paper, always we look into what is the SCImago index. That SCImago also announced the institution's ranking. And one more is university ranking by academic performance and webometrics ranking. So the name itself indicates that the availability of the information on the websites, that is webometric ranking. These are some of the popular university rankers around the world. Here, whenever we took the rankers, okay, there were two cases are there. Some of them simply they give the rating. means they are going to give the grades, and some of them they give the numbering, that is a ranking. So as we said, that global, national, and regional levels they are present. When we take the indicators of the ranking, similar to that of NIRF ranking, whatever is observed at our national level, here also the same or more or less similar indicators for the ranking can be observed. There are so many hundreds of different indicators are there. Out of all those indicators, we can categorize under some of the important categories, like what are the characteristics of the student, what are the financial inputs, staff inputs, student experiences, learning outcomes, financial outcomes, research metrics, reputation, etc. Now, what are the keywords involved in the ranking? Whenever we look at the keywords involved, we can say that history and culture in the case of the institution, awards and researches, whatever happening regarding the academic criteria, and what type of the facilities are available on the campus in the form of laboratories or infrastructure, etc. What type of collections they are having in the case of library or museum, and then how they are able to manage their financial status. How are they able to get the financial support, whether they are able to get the research grant from the government organizations, whether they are able to get a research grant from the industries or some private parties, etc. What is about the alumni, whether they are able to occupy the notable positions, they are very good academics or not. So whenever we look at the categories of the ranking, so different categories of rankings are there. Anyhow, we are going to look at each and every one, but a broad idea I'm going to give here. That is, a ranking happens by subject. Ranking happens by subject. One is arts and humanities, engineering and IT universities, life sciences and biomedicine universities, natural and physical sciences, and social sciences universities. So likewise, subject-wise ranking is given. And not only that, location also. Location means already we have seen world ranking. In addition to world ranking, is it constrained to a particular area, that is a continent like American universities, or a combination of the Asian and Middle Eastern universities, or African countries, or a combination of Australia and New Zealand universities, or British and European universities? Like that, we can look into the different rankings based on the location also. Whenever we look at this one, these rankings, whatever are there, there are different bases are there. One of that one is the university league tables. I think already you are aware that what is a league table. League table is nothing but a comparison table where the comparison is made on the basis of some criteria. What is that criteria? As we discussed earlier, it may be the student outcomes, or it may be research output, or it may be financial status, what it may be. The league table means it is a comparison table based on a particular criteria or a set of criteria, what we can say that. And then some of the rankings are there based on the research only. For example, if you take the SIMAGO, whatever we have seen earlier, the SIMAGO is giving a ranking based on the research only. Some of the other members, they are taking multi-rankings. Multi-rankings means here they are going to take the indicators. The next one is web ranking. Already we have seen Webometrics. That is one of the organization which simply gives based on the web visibility. And then benchmarking based on the learning outcomes. So all these are the different bases for the classification of the ranks, what we can say. And then for whom these ranks are going to be useful? For all stakeholders, they are going to be useful. Stakeholders means generally what we think that either students or parents or a community or society or industry, like that we think. Not only that, including the in-persons of the organization. In-persons means if any particular vice chancellor visits a other universities, first of all, they are going to announce their own NIRF rank or QS ranking or THE ranking, etc. That itself, so they are able to boast themselves they are able to trump about their organization very well. So that's why this is one of that one is vice chancellor, they can use it. And the management person, a proprietor of that management, they can introduce their organization to others, staff members, students. So not only that, even to a common man, this ranking is going to help a lot, including the funding agencies. Probably you have seen that nowadays the funding to the research grants, it is happening based on the NIRF ranking. And then based on the NIRF ranking, they are categorizing the universities, university grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, like that. So, so that ranking itself shows that how the funding will be given to the toppers of the NIRF ranking. Already we have seen that. So what are the benefits? This is very well known to that one. So whenever you are applying for any funding, not only for the research funding, even to establish laboratories at your organization, even if you want to establish the library, or even if you establish the infrastructure, like even some of the organizations, they are giving finance in terms of swimming pools and others, or hostel buildings, etc. So whenever you request for the funding, then in such cases, this rank is going to help a lot. And then what is the level of the reputation of the organization? And then at the world level or the global level, you are able to get very good awareness. And then, you are able to attract the meritorious students to your organization. That is very, very important. And then based on the nowadays, if you are able to see that whenever either DST or other organizations, other funding agencies are advising, they advise all the members to have a tie-up with the foreign universities. The foreign universities, those who are having the rank below 50. So if you want to select a partner to go for funding, in such case, a suitable research partner also you are able to select based on this ranking only. You are able to get very good sponsors, either to conduct some event on our organization or to get the scholarship to your students. Of course, as we discussed earlier, always there will be criticism regarding the globalization. Globalization means here, whatever the fragrance of the native land will be missing in such cases. And there will be rat race will be there. So unnecessary competition where you are distorting yourselves, in the terms of trumping yourselves, not concentrating on the main issues. And then always there will be some subjectivity will be involved in it. So all these are the criticism. In spite of that, nowadays university ranking is more and more adopted and accepted. As I said earlier, the THE and the QS, these actually in initial days they used to release their own rankings, but 2002 onwards they started giving a list of top 500 universities in the world. But what happened from 2002 to 2009, they have given together in a collaboration way. But afterwards, they departed, they started giving their own ranking. Out of these two, the QS, whatever is there, that one still continuing at the time, the pre-existing methodology, whereas the THE, the Times Higher Education, that has adapted a new methodology. So based on the methodology adoption, they were departed and started giving their own ranking. So in initial, as I said that initially from 2002 to 2009, QS and THE, they have given the ranking together. So at the time, mainly they have taken the criteria and weightage like this. The quality of the education, they have given 10%, quality of the faculty 40% in total. Out of the 40%, 20% to the prizes, what type of the prizes they got, whether they got the Nobel Prize or they are able to get the Fields medals. I think already you are aware that what is the Fields medal. So this is the prize awarded to the mathematician, those who are having the age below 40 years. So this is similar to that of in our India. For young scientists, we give Santishwarupur Bhatnagar Award. So this is similar to Bhatnagar Award at our India level, we can say that. So whereas the balance 20% weightage was given to highly cited researchers. Okay, so this is the one. And if you look at here, quality of the education, the quality of the faculty, in both cases, Nobel Prizes and field medals are there. There is a difference. What is the difference means? Okay, if the alumni, the students who pass out students are able to get those prizes, then 10%. If those who are able to win and join your organization, okay, as a faculty member or a teammate, in such cases, you are getting 20% under the quality of the faculty. And the research output, there is a difference between the quality of the faculty and research output. You may say that, sir, Nobel Prize and field medals they also come under the category of the research output. But this, in the case of the quality of the faculty, the Nobel Prize or field medals and what is called research, whatever is there, that is taken into consideration before joining the organization as well as after joining the organization. Both will be considered under the quality of the faculty. Whereas the research output means what are the articles published with the affiliation of the current organization. That one comes under the research output. In addition to that, what are the articles which are indexed in the SCI? That is a Science Citation Index. Nowadays, there is no more SCI because SCI means paper-based information. SCI, that is Science Citation Index, expanded nowadays existing, which is completely web-based one. Nowadays, no more SCI is available. Nowadays, only SCI is there. So, in addition to that, okay, I think probably you have seen that nowadays, whenever any principal or IQAC coordinator discuss with the concerned faculty members, okay, why don't you publish? They simply says that yes, only in the mathematics, physics, chemistry, okay, sciences or engineering, SCA journals are there. Okay, in the English or political science or other subjects, there are no such journals are available. They say like that, which is not at all true. In addition, parallel to SCI or SCIE, to the arts and humanities and social sciences, there are some other indices are there. One of that index is social science citation index. So even the humanities guys, social science guys, or literature guys, they can publish in the indexed journals. Okay, and then per capita performance of the institution, whatever is there, the 10% is there. In total, 100% weightage was given in those days. Of course, they used to collect the information from different sources in olden days like this. Now, as I said, okay, though THE and QS, they have started their journey together. Afterwards, they have departed based on the methodology, whatever they have adapted. And then if you look at the QS, they are giving different rankings. As we said that we can classify that ranking based on the region, based on the subject, context, based on the mission, and the type also we can take into consideration. What are these? Let's look at one by one. If you look at the QS world rankings, in addition to that QS world ranking, there is an opportunity to go by region also. So at different continent or different levels. For example, the same QS giving world ranking as well as what is the ranking at the Asia level or Latin America level or Arab region, the entire Arab region, or EACA. I think already you are aware that EACA means Eastern European and Central Asian countries. So together, whatever the area is there called EACA, and then BRICS. This is very popular nowadays. One of the consortium among the countries like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So by taking that particular group also, they are giving the what's called rank. That is the region by rank. Subjects. Now there are different types of specific subjects are there. In total, 48 such specific subjects are available, which we can divide under 5 broad areas. And then if you look at this subject, not only the ordinary MBA program, the global MBA program, distance mode MBA program, online MBA program, EMBA. I think already you are aware that is called executive MBA program. Okay, this is executive MBA program. Mainly it is focused on the employees who are already employed, and then for them classwork will be conducted either afternoon or evening sessions or on holidays. This is only 1 year course, so where the admission will be given based on the experience whatever they were able to get earlier. So, and a business masters. So likewise, subject wise, we can give the QS is giving the rank by a contest. Means what type of higher education systems you are having, or what are the best student cities. Means whatever the cities present all over the world, they are giving the ranking to the cities. So which city is having a good number of the academic organizations, like that, based on the cities also they are giving the ranking by mission. By mission means the graduate employability. So there we can see afterwards some of the organizations are simply giving based on the employability. So here this QS, apart from the other parameters, this is the one of the main parameter, that is the employability. Based on that one also they are giving different ranking from the other rankings. So and by type also they are giving okay, top 50, like that way they are giving. And then whenever you look at this QS, as I say shown earlier, the QS is giving world ranking, QS is giving Asian ranking, like that. And if you look at the area-wise ranking, this is about the bifurcation, whatever you are able to see here. And whenever we take this World University Ranking 2024, which is recently released, there are small changes are available, or you can observe them. What is the difference from the previous academic year? So here earlier there was no much focus on the sustainability. Now the sustainability is added. I think already nowadays we are much discussing, and one of the buzzword is SDG, that is Sustainability Development Growth Goal. The SDG sustainability, for that 5% contribution was added. And the next one is IRN. What is this IRN means? I means international, R means research, N means network. This international research network, for that also 5% was added. So earlier, okay, if you are able to see here, nowadays whenever you are publishing any journal publication, the colleges and universities, they give earlier the stress not to include the faculty from other organizations. No, if you are able to have a partner other than your own country at the international level, if you are able to make them, partner in our publication, if you are able to make the international level scientists a partner in the research funding, or the collaborative research, or in the case of the patents, what it may be, whether it is a publication, whether it may be patent, whether it may be research funding, what is technology transfer, what it may be the case at the international level, if you are able to build up some research network, that one gives a weightage of 5%. Employment outcomes added 5%, student faculty ratio reduced to 10%. Earlier it was high, now recently it is reduced to 10%. Academic reputation also reduced to 10%. Employer reputation, that is increased by 5%. I think already you are aware that what is the employer reputation means. Okay, the organization will be collecting the data from the different employers, what sort of the opinion they are having about each and every organization. So in this way, in the forthcoming 2024 QS World Ranking, there is added 5% each for sustainability, that is SDG goals, that is sustainability development growth goals, and international research network, and employer reputation, like that they are taking into consideration. Of course, whenever we look at the QS University ranking, we can say that the ranking, as we said, that given by subject, by sustainability rankings. Nowadays, they are giving based on simply based on the whatever the sustainability goals, whatever are there, 17 sustainability goals, whatever are there, based on them, they are giving ranking. Based on the QS best student cities, as I said that different cities, they are going to give the ranking, and QS business master ranking, QS global MBA ranking, QS international trade ranking, like that they are giving. So yeah, whenever we take this QS, yeah, they have just started their journey in 1990 in what is called UK, and then they tied up with what is called THE. Now they are doing individually, but the say QS whatever is there, that one started giving a ranking subject wise. Okay, from 2011 onwards. Okay, 2011 onwards, they started giving rank like that. Now, here, whenever we look at the world level QS ranking, the broad subject areas, as I said earlier, we are dividing, they have divided under 5 categories: arts and humanities, engineering and technology, life sciences and medicine, and natural science, social science and management. And this is about the subjects which you can observe under arts and humanities, where general subjects like history, archaeology, philosophy, etc. So there, in addition to the linguistics, etc. And then general engineering and technology, subjects which are very well known to all of us. Under life sciences and medicine, when we take this life sciences and medicine, in addition to the medicine and dental, they are also taking into consideration of agriculture and forestry, nursing, psychology, pharmacy and pharmacology, veterinary science. All of them come under the category of this life science and medicine. Natural science, they are giving separately ranking for all the subjects, including chemistry. So here the chemistry, whatever is there, and then mathematics, physics, all of them, including the environmental studies under this natural sciences. Whereas the social sciences and management, they are giving under economics and econometrics, and sociology, politics, law, anthropology. For all of them, they are giving subject-wise ranks. Whenever we look at the QS World University ranking by subject, what is the main methodology they are adapting? So when we take here, mainly they're taking 5 points into 5 heads into consideration. What sort of reputation they are having at the academic community as well as the employer. And then what is the H index? H index means already you are aware that whenever the faculty members, whenever the staff members are publishing, okay, each and every faculty is having his own H index, and the department is having the H index, and then a college and the university are having their own H index. H represents H number of the journals are cited by H number of other publishers, okay, other researchers. No self citation is permitted in this case. And how many citations you are able to get per paper? So this is one. Of course, whatever the weightage is there, that is going to vary from subject to subject. And already we have seen that reputation at the academic level, employer level, H index, citation. So whenever we look at the academic reputation, how they are going to look into the academic reputation, this is somewhat different from the whatever the ranking, whatever we observed in India, even in, different from the accreditations like Naac or NBA. So here they won't consider any information from you. They are going to take a global level survey from the academicians. So they collect the almost more than 1 lakh votes. So more than 1 lakh votes they are going to collect from different academicians. And then you cannot, for example, if a choice is given to N.College to vote for other academicians, so they cannot vote for their own organization. They have to give the ranking for the other organizations. So here, okay, in this case, out of the 1 lakh votes, whatever they are going to collect, so each and every institution will be asked to give or list out to 10 national level and 30 international best universities. So likewise, they are going to collect the information. Based on that information, you are going to get the marks in this weightage in this academic reputation. Similarly, employer reputation. So what they are going to do, earlier in the case of academic reputation, more than 1 lakh votes were collected from different academic institutions. In this case, more than 50,000 votes will be collected from employers over a period of 5 years. So they won't simply take this year reputation or only last year reputation. They are going to want to look into the consistency for a period of 5 years. They are going to take into consideration for over a period of 5 years. Whatever the 50,000 votes they are collecting, okay, each and every voter will be asked to list out 10 top national and 30 top international level organizations or universities. Based on that employees' votes, weightage will be given. The next one is about the citations. So similar to the reputation among the academicians, reputation among the what is called industrialists, that is the employees. So here, in the case of citations also, they are going to consider a period of 5 years. So this 5 years, during this 5 years of period, how many number of the citations that particular organization or particular department is able to get it. That too, they won't collect from you. They directly collect it from the Scopus. The Scopus database is going to give that one. Of course, as usual, similar to that of the H-index, even in this case, the self-citations, whatever are there, they are going to be omitted. And then here, there is some threshold limit is existing for each and every subject. So that is very, very important. You have to consider. So threshold means out of a group of 4 subjects. If okay, chemistry, zoology, and then botany. If 2 subjects are doing well, other subject is not doing. If it is unable to cross the threshold limit, then you will be completely out of race. H-index already you know that n number of the publications and each and everyone is having a number of citations. We call that one as a H-index. That is very important. And then here, before applying that one to the global ranking, that is QS subject-wise ranking, they are going to take into consideration of the institutional prerequisites. What are the institutional prerequisites? Means already we said that we are going to collect 1 lakh. We are going QS collect more than 1 lakh academic votes, okay, information from the academic 1 lakh academicians. Out of more than 1 lakh, at least 150 academic responses must spell out your organization. And then out of more than 50,000 employee responses, at least 300 employees should spell out your organization. Yes, we want to recruit a chemistry graduate from SSN college, like that. So then only your what is called application qualifies for that one. And then as we discussed earlier, each and every discipline will be having the minimum threshold number of the publication. For example, if you take the pharmacy, let us say that they keep it as 80. If 79 are there, means your application is outrightly rejected. Similarly, education. Likewise, you are going to give the information. And of course, no need to discuss nowadays what are the things we have to do at the university level. You are aware that. And then here in this particular case, very, very important, mainly in the case of the QS or THE ranking, is about the department level works. So whenever the department level works means one has to concentrate more on publishing the papers in the Scopus index journals only. And then, okay, not only publishing, whether the information is included your own Scopus profile or not, because each and every faculty or each and every researcher is equipped with one Scopus ID. So that is called Aadhar ID. So in that Aadhar ID, all your journal papers publications are included or not. If not included, you have to merge them. If they are missing, you have to request them. Then only they are going to include it. So okay, whether it is updated, completely updated or not, that you have to check yourself. That is that has to happen at the faculty level, at the department, in each and every department. Not only that, okay, whenever you are publishing, okay, you have to take one precaution whether a proper mentioning of the affiliation is there or not. So what is this affiliation? For example, okay, you are going to publish one time, you are going to publish that one as SSN college. Sometimes you are going to publish as SS and N college. Sometimes you are going to complete elaborate Subraya college like that. If you write, no, it is not good. In such cases, you have to give request from your side to merge all those information under the profile of the individual and the profile of the organization. That is going to be a tedious job at the end. So try to mention the affiliation information intact in a single manner. And then better to collaborate with the different others, both at the national and international. This is very important because already we have seen IRN. IRN means International Research Network. So whether you are able to build up a network at the international level or not, that is going to happen. So that's why whenever you publish, please try to collaborate with first at the national level with other organizations and then international level. So once if you start collaborating at the national level and international level, that helps you to go for the applications for funding. So in this way, slowly you can build up the ties with them. And then a timely submission of the information, and that to correct information. And then always you have to keep engage the alumni association in the active mode. And not only that, okay, you have to see that there is a buzz of your own organization is there in the media or not. So because the opinion of the public, opinion of the other academicians, opinion of the employers, all this is all of them are going to make a lot. Okay, so ultimately what is the QS ranking of your own university? That is also there. So we have seen first about the QS ranking. Now we are going to discuss about THE ranking, that is a Times Higher Education World University ranking. So when we take this one gives ranking under broad different categories. So nowadays it is giving not only for all the universities. Okay, recently mushroomed universities they take into consideration. They give a separate ranking system is there, which comes under a head of young universities head, and simply based on the reputation and based on the geography, that is the area, whether you are from only from Asia or Europe or Asia Pacific or Arab world, like that, or subject wise. Already we have seen that one, just similar to that of QS. In this case also, what is called geography wise, subject wise, they are giving reputation is there, but this is somewhat different. Young universities also can apply under this one. One of that one, okay, whenever you take this THE, Times Higher Education, this is the THE, this is their website. So whenever we look at this website, they are giving ranking based on the impact all over the world, regional, subject, as well as teaching. Okay, what is this impact? Already we have seen that SDGs, that is a Sustainable Development Growth Goals, 17 goals, whatever are there. So on those goals, how your organization is able to make the impact on the SDGs. So for each and every SDG, they are going to give that one, and the SDG is going to play a vital role. That's why whenever, if you look at nowadays, the syllabus of each and every paper, okay, at the end of the paper they are informing, okay, how this particular paper or particular course mapping with the SDG, which number, how you are able to justify, like that they are asking. You can see that the what is called survey of some of the universities. Okay, that's why impact of the SDGs is very important. As we discussed, this THE is also giving the world university ranking subject wise. Of course, they have clubbed into clubbed under different heads. You can see here. Okay, and whenever we look at this THE ranking, what is the main methodology? So the methodology, whatever is there, they are going to take the main heads like teaching, research, citation, international outlook, and what is the income that you are able to get from the industry. That is very important. So what is the weightage of each and every parameter here means teaching, research and citations, Okay, they are giving 30 each. So teaching means what sort of the learning environment is existing on your campus. Research means how many number of the publications you are able to get. What is the citation? Okay, sorry. What is the number of the publications you are able to get it? What is the income you are able to get it? Income means if you are able to get the sanctioning or granting of the patents is there. Yes, you can do. If there is any technology transfer is there or not. So either due to the technology transfer or patents, if you are able to get the income, that comes under 30% research. And citations, already we have seen that how we are going to influence other researchers. So whether they are able to cite your work or not. So that is 30%. And then international outlook. International outlook means they are going to take the opinion from staff and students and research at the international level. And then what is the what is called industry income? Industry income means nowadays, in addition to the research, everyone is giving the thrust on the innovation. So what sort of innovative products you are able to get it? What sort of innovative products you are able to get? So based on the innovation, you are able to get the income. You are able to collaborate with the industry. So likewise, they are giving the weightage. And then as far as the teaching is concerned, so okay, as we have seen earlier, they are going to take the survey from that is called reputation survey from so many members all over the world. So that weightage is 15%. In addition to that, 4.5% student to staff ratio and doctorates to bachelor's ratio like that. And research also here, reputation. Okay, whatever is there, and what is the income, what is the productivity, and then here knowledge, as I said that whenever there is an innovation, definitely you are able to transfer the knowledge, which earns good amount to your organization and as well as the individual. How much such knowledge transfer income is there, that comes under industry income. And then international outlook means here how many what is the percentage of the international students opted your organization. Okay, that is very important. Not only the students, how many faculty members are working in our organization which are having the their origin from other countries. And then what sort of collaboration you are having at the international level. All of them comes under international outlook, where the weightage is about 7.5%. So as we seen earlier, so there are different sources are there. The THE ultimately going to give the ranking. So the sources are, one is a portal, okay, whatever the information you are publishing on your own website portal. And then reputation survey, whatever they do it. And the third party regarding the research, that is Scopus. And then they're going to take different matrices, which I'm not going to discuss, elaborate, because already you are aware that. And then ultimately out of those, all those metrics, we are going to club under 5 different pillars like teaching, research, international output, outlook, industry income, and citation. Just like whatever is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars, whatever is there, their proportion is taken here. So in this way, they are going to transform the data. And then what are the metrics they consider, okay, how they come to a conclusion giving the ranking. This is the information regarding the THE, the higher education university, world level university ranking. And in addition to QS, in addition to THE, the worldwide accepted, even in the case of the UGC, that is University Grants Commission, they are giving a exemption for the top 50 organizations from this ARWU, that is academic ranking of world universities. Actually, as I said earlier, okay, this is one of the ranking given by the education institutions. That is nothing but university which is called Shanghai University. So this is actually the basis or the genesis of this ARWU was different. So first of all, that China, they want to reduce the gap between the world-class universities and Chinese universities. That was the preliminary aim of them. They want to benchmark themselves. So they want to bring the Chinese universities to the level of world-class universities. For that, the strategic planning was given by the Shanghai Jiaotang University. So though it was started as the benchmarking idea, which was started in 2003, but later onwards, it converted into giving the ranking to the universities all over the world. So here, what are the indicators in this case? In these indicators are first about the Nobel Prizes and field medals. Nobel Prize field medals means both the students who left your organization in the form of alumni or those who are working on your campus. And then citation, highly cited research, how many are there? Okay, in the whatever the broad subject categories they have identified. And then what is the number of the articles that we are able to publish in SCIE or SSCIE or what is called Nature, Science Journal, etc. And then what is the size of the organization, how it is performing that one. So if you take all those into consideration, this the Shanghai University, they're giving the weightage like this: the quality of the education 10%, faculty quality 20 plus 20, 40. Out of that, 20 is for Nobel Prizes, 20 for this what is called citations, highly citation research output, whatever is there, that is a 40% weightage. That is published in highly reputed organization, reputed journals like Nature and Science, and the balance 20% based on the SCIE as well as SSCI publications. And what is the per capita academic performance of the institution? That one is also given a 10% weightage. And then, okay, whenever we have seen, as we discussed that in 2003, the Shanghai University started this particular ARWU for the purpose of benchmarking their own country universities to the level of world-class universities. Okay, in 2009, it started giving ranking very few subjects. What are those? Means mainly on the science subjects, including the computer science, maths, physics, chemistry, computer science, and economics. But in 2016 onwards, what happened? It has increased at the global level. Okay, 2016 onwards, they have started giving at the global level, and they have included the engineering also. Okay, and 2017 onwards, you can find that more than 52 subjects are there. So whenever we take all those 52 subjects, we can divide them under natural sciences, life sciences, medical sciences, social sciences, engineering. Okay, we can divide all of them. So whenever we take this ARWU, that is a Shanghai University ranking, whatever is there, okay, that one is going to release the information on its website regarding the what are the top 500 universities at the world level and region level. Different regions. What are the top 100 universities at in the region of North and Latin America? Top 100 universities in the region of Asia, Oceania. Top 100 universities in the case of Europe. Likewise, what is called area wise also they are going to release that one. And then not only that, you can find the ranking country level also you can see into consideration. And the next one, whatever we are going to discuss is about webometrics. The name itself indicates that the metrics is given based on the web information, whatever is there. So here nowadays, no need to discuss about the importance of the web, how you have to present yourself on the web. Okay, here the new academic global market is there. Global market means our students, you can find that many students are flying to other countries. Similarly, other country students are trying to get the admission in our universities or colleges. That is happening. So there's a great mobility is there. And whenever such a mobility is there, automatically competition is increasing. And then it is better to have the ranking. It is a prestige issue. So in all of these, okay, we have to consider the academic as the not at the regional level or national level, at the global level. So we can use the word, an appropriate word, that is academic global market. Okay, so how you are able to showcase, your university or organization in the web. So that is very, very important. Okay, what sort of the missions you have carried out, whether it is a teaching wise mission or a research wise or technology transfer, what it may be. So all of them you are going to take into consideration. So here, if you look at what is the model involved in the webometrics ranking is, you can see here, these are the motivations, impact, activity, and missions. Here, whenever you take any activity at your organization level, what is the scholarly status? That is very important. For example, if you are able to place some document on your website, simply copy pasting something and keeping the documents is not enough. Whatever the document is there, what sort of the novelty it is having? Whenever the novelty is there, number of the hits increase. Whenever the number of the hits increase, automatically you will be given more weightage. So instead of simply throwing some garbage in the form of the documents on your own portal, try to see that some novelty is included in the documents. And then pages, there will be some pages. What are the pages displayed on your website, your organization website? They must be popular. Then number of the hits increase. And whatever the papers you are having, what sort of the prestige they are having. So likewise, you have to see that whether the documents, whether the pages, whether the papers, whatever you upload, they are able to grab more number of the visits. That is very important. And here they are giving the weightages, different weightages like this. Okay, I'm not going to read out because the time is not enough. I'm left out with so much other things. And Newsweek ranking. Actually, this Newsweek ranking was started in the year 2006 from America. This is one of the news magazine. Okay, it started giving the rankings under the name Top 100 Global Universities. Okay, whenever we take this Newsweek ranking, it is not going to do much work by itself. They are going to take the weightage from the previous two rankings. What are the two previous rankings? As I said, one of the ranking given by Shanghai University, one of the ranking given by THE, the Times Higher Education. So they are taking the indicators from Shanghai University and they are taking the indicators from the Times Higher Education and they are going to club. Okay, the library holdings, how many number of the, what is about your library worth. So by taking the Shanghai and THE ranking indicators, they add the what are the holdings present in the own library. They release the Newsweek ranking. As I said, Shanghai University criteria 50% they take. THE criteria, they take 40%, and the balance 10%, how many number of the volumes you are having in your library. So that is ranking, top 100 global universities ranking is given by Newsweek International. Here, this is one more ranking, which is given by US News Best Global Ranking, whatever we said that. Okay, it is started giving very long back, and but there is a difference from the previous one. Newsweek ranking taking the indicators from the other rankers like Shanghai and THE, whereas US News Best Global Ranking mainly it is getting the data from Clarivate Analytics. That is very important. You know that SCIE, SCIE, SSIE, SSIC, all those whatever are there, they are given by Clarivate Analytics. Now Clarivate Analytics is holding that one. They pass the information to this US news so that they can release the best global university ranking. So when we take this best global university ranking by this news magazine, so they take different what is called subjects, in total 22 subjects. These are the 22 subjects which are they're giving the ranking and for the top 100, and this is about the weightage, how they are taking the weightage. So when, as I said here, they're purely taking the information from the Clarivate Analytics. Earlier, if you are able to recollect, earlier we have seen that some of the organization taking only research output. So Clarivate Analytics deals with what? It deals with the research only. So the research, whatever is there, 100% research, what is called weightage is given. That is US News and World Report Best Global University Ranking. That is called USCNWR. So here the Clarivate gives the information about global research reputation, regional research reputation, publication, books, conferences, citation, normalized citation impact, international collaboration. Everything is given by that particular Clarivate Analytics. Based on the simple research, they give that one. And one more, which is giving a ranking based on the research is SCImago. Yeah, as I said that SCImago, whatever is there, this is the one of the very well-known one. Whenever you are going to choose a particular journal, the journal, whether it is indexed in the Scopus or not, or whether what sort of the quality it is having, whether it comes under Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, different types of Q1 to Q4 ranking is there. That Q1 to Q4 ranking, whatever is there, that can be known from the SCImago. So journal indexing, journal quality, whether it falls under Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, nowadays we are getting the total information from the SCImago. All of you are aware that the same SCImago is releasing some ranking which is called SCImago Institutions Ranking. What is this SCImago Institution Ranking? So here the SCImago Institution Ranking, they are giving different types of rankings. Overall ranking, university ranking, government ranking, health ranking, private ranking, other rankings. In that also, here research ranking simply based on the innovation and the societal ranking. So in total, we can say that 9 different rankings are released by the SCImago. So, okay, this is also, as we discussed earlier, this US NWR, this is releasing simply based on the information taken from the Clarivate Analytics. This is the research output, and this SCImago is also mostly based on the research output. Okay, how? Okay, if you look at this one, research, 50% they are giving. I'm not going to read out the bifurcation due to paucity of the time, whatever is there, and then 50%. And as I said earlier, there was no much used word. Nowadays, it became the buzzword that is called innovation. Innovation means, okay, how many patents you are able to file, how many patents you are able to get the grant, how much income you are generating from those patents, how much technology you are able to transfer, and what is the income generated, what is the impact of the technology, what is the innovation knowledge. So likewise 30% impact is there. In addition to that, societal means backnets as well as the websites. So based on that one, so here the institutions no need to give any much information on them. Of course, on their own websites, they can update a little bit information, but most of the things they are able to get from their own bank of information they have. And in addition to this, I said that some of the universities are also giving that one. Earlier, we have seen, what is called one of the two universities from China. So this is the one of the ranking given by National Taiwan University ranking. So in this one is also 100% weightage is given to the research only. So the research productivity 25%, research impact 35%, research excellence 40%, like that you can say that. And then one more university rankings are there, that is university ranking by academic performance. So when we take this university ranking by academic performance, in this case, the total weightage, whatever is there, what are the articles, citation, total documents, now what is the article impact, total article impact, what is the total citation impact, what is the international collaboration. So based on that one, in this case also more or less you can say that research is going to play a vital role to get the world ranking in the case of the university ranking by academic performance, whatever is there. Okay. So whenever we take this one, we have seen QS, THE, Shanghai, and other, they're giving different rankings. So each and every time you have to enter into their web portal, you have to search the university which you want to join. For example, I am a student. I want to select a particular university based on the world ranking. In such case, I cannot encroach or enter into each and every university website, each and every ranking website. In such case, there is one common one which is called universityranking.ch. So where here, if you are able to click this one, there is a scroll bar. You can choose a type of the ranking. Whether you want THE, that is Times World University Ranking, whether you want QS ranking, whether you want Shanghai ranking or other ranking. Likewise, different rankings, whether you want ranking at which level. Is it world level or a particular continent level? Or a particular area level, world or Asia or Europe or Middle East, North America, Oceania, etc., the 2 year wise, how those universities are able to maintain the consistency. In 2023, how is it existing? Previous 5 years, how it is. Like that, nowadays a student is able to choose his own university and program based on this world ranking websites nowadays. Not only that, a particular industry is there. They want to recruit what is called employees to their organization. In such case, no need to worry much about it. Simply, they can enter into such a website, they can browse, and they come to know about that particular university or that particular organization or the college. Based on that, they can come to a conclusion whether they are able to get the good entry of the students or not, whether outcomes are properly or not. Everything can be decided just like within a few minutes. So the same, whatever I said, that just for your sake of convenience, I have shown QS World Rankings here. QS World Ranking like this, you can see Times World Ranking from the same site you can get like this. So in this way, you are able to see that one. Till the time we discussed about World University Rankings. So already we have seen rating and ranking is different. Accreditation is different. So I am going to discuss a little bit with what's called accreditations. Organizers, if you don't mind, can I take extend for 5 more minutes, because I have started at 11:40 around.
Sir.
Yeah, because as I have started at 11:40, can I go extend up to 1:10 like that, if you don't mind?
Sir, evening session now we have lengthy session, sir, lengthy program. So kindly try to complete within time, sir.
Okay, then I do that. I will finish it quickly. Thank you.
Sure.
Right. Till the time we were discussing about only university rankings. Now we are going to discuss about the accreditations. So accreditations that took programs wise, subject wise, degree wise. How it is going to happen here? For example, Royal Society of Chemistry, most of the chemistry guys know it very well. So RSC nowadays, not nowadays, from the so many years it is giving, now it became internationalized. That is, they are accrediting the degrees. So if you visit their website, okay, what are the degrees accredited by them? What is the criteria for the accreditation? You can get it from them. So if you look at their website of this RSC, Royal Society of Chemistry, the VAT Vellore is one of that one, which is having the accreditation, MSc Chemistry program accredited by which one? RSC Chemistry. And then, okay, this is the one, okay, their brochure, where it gives very good information, how you are able to get this one, what's called accreditation. So what type of the accreditation they are giving? RSC is giving accreditation for UG as well as PG programs. As far as the UG is concerned, they are giving accreditation for the bachelor program and integrated master program. Means bachelor plus master's program, integrated program. So that is called considered as UG, BS bachelor program, integrated master program, and master programs. PG programs are also they are giving separately. And then what are the benefits? Means you know that chartered accountants. Just like that, at a national and international level, nowadays there is existence of a word which is known as a chartered chemist. So if you want to become a chartered chemist, in such case, this ranking to your that particular program is going to help the students a lot. Not only that, easy way they can become the members of the RSC and other professional bodies, and external easily they can review you. Okay, whenever we look at this RSC accreditation to the graduation programs, graduation programs or master's programs, you can say that there are in total what is called in total there are 16 key parameters are there, key requirements are there. Out of that, 3 requirements are under the what sort of the knowledge breadth you are having. The depth of the knowledge, 2 key parameters, and then 1 under practical skills, 1 under research work, and placement, etc., etc. You can say that, and all these are the key requirements. Actually, I want to discuss the time due to the paucity of time. Let me rush. Okay, just like that, Royal Society of Chemistry, Royal Society of the Biology is also one of the organization which is giving the accreditation to universities. How they are giving? Okay, you can see that. Okay, their website, you can see that. Okay, different organizations there. Okay, then in addition to that one, there is one more accreditation body is there, which is called QAA. That is called QAA, means the Quality Assurance Agency. QAA represents the global level Quality Assurance Agency. So this QAA is also giving the ranking. So actually it started in 1997, and initially it started giving only in UK. Now worldwide ranking it started giving, and then this is giving ranking to what's called higher education institutions. As I said earlier, in 1997 it has started, but first edition of a quality code was released in 2000. In 2004, the QA conducted the first institutional audit. So here quality code was given in 2000, 2004 onwards, it started giving educational auditing, and then okay, nowadays after this corona, the COVID, they also started enhancing their activities with respect to the online and digital learning. Okay, nowadays already you are aware that the QS is also giving the online and digital learning. Similar to that, this QAA, that is the Quality Assurance Agency, UK based one, that is also giving audit. Okay, so when we take this QAA, the international program accreditations are there out of many other things. So where you can find these buttons, where from
Dear participants, kindly bear with us. Hope there is a problem with our resource persons. Please wait for a minute, sir.
Am I audible? Someone speak out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Is the problem from my side or universal?
No, sir, from your side only.
Oh, my side. Okay, sorry.
No issues.
Okay.
Sir, kindly share our PPT, sir. It is not.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Now, okay, sir.
Please take.
Sir, please make it full screen, sir.
Yeah, making it. Yes. Yeah. So here we can say that this ASIN, whatever is there, it is giving the accreditation at the program level, institution level, it is giving the certification, and it is going to evaluate, and consultancy work also it does. And you can visit their website accordingly, you can apply it and you can work on it for your own organization degrees. So this is about this accreditation agency. As I said, that ASIN, this is the accreditation agency for the study programs over a wide range of programs. It may be engineering, informatics, natural science, mathematics, etc. This is a German-based one. And then if you look at this one, this is having different technical committees. As I said, that engineering committees, different engineering, mechanical or process engineering, electrical engineering, IT, civil, and then information, computer science, and then you can say that sciences like physics, chemistry, and then life science, pharmacy, medicine, mathematics, like that. You can see that ASIN, it is giving very good information. This is about the brochure where from you can get the information. And one more is CHEA, that is Council for Higher Education Accreditation. So this is one of that one. This is one of the group which is called popularly known as CIQG, that is a CHEA International Quality Group. So when we take this one, okay, some of our Indian organizations already they have the accreditations. Examples, so you can see there, you can browse their website where you can find that MT University and Stratford University of the New Delhi. Already they are accredited from this one. In addition to that, last one, ABET, which I'm going to finish within 5 minutes. First of all, we have to erase the misconception that is about the ABET. After discussing a number of times about the Washington Accord, most of the members feel that ABET is meant for only engineering programs. No. So the ABET is giving accreditation for a wide range of the programs, which we are going to see. This is their website, where you can see that the vision of statement of the ABET itself indicates that. Earlier, yes, it's true, it was concentrating more and more on engineering and technology education. But nowadays, in addition to engineering, it is also taking care of applied science, computing also. So here, when we take the brief history of this ABET, it was started very long back in 1932. It started as the Engineering Council for the Professional Development, and then it converted. It started evaluating the engineering degree programs from 1936 onwards. But the name was stated. Changed it as a ABET. So earlier the name was different. Now it was changed to ABET. And then in 1989, everyone discussed about Washington Accord, which I'm not going to discuss. So nowadays we are calling that one as only ABET. Not we are going to call it with the complete name, because this is a misnomer. Misnomer means it may mislead, saying that accreditation board for engineering technology means naturally everyone feels that is meant for engineering. No, it is meant for all programs. It started accrediting the programs outside of the US also from 2007 onwards. So what is the difference between other and this one means? This ABET is going to give the accreditation for a specific degree, for a specific degree, for a specific degree, discipline. For example, if you take engineering, BTech CSC, it is accredited. That's all. Not all BTech degrees. Just like our NBA. You know that NBA, National Board of Accreditation, it gives accreditation for a particular degree. For example, if any organization, for example, if any department is offering 2 degrees, For example, your chemistry department is offering a BSc chemistry and MSc chemistry. No, it gives the accreditation for specific degree, either for BSc or MSc. If you want to have for both of them, you have to go for the accreditation request separately. It won't give accreditation for any institution. It won't give accreditation for schools or colleges or even to the department. Chemistry department won't get. BSc chemistry only gets the accreditation. It won't going to give what is called accreditation for the degrees. And then if you look at this one, of course, I'm not going to look at this. Okay, this a bit, it is completely voluntary based one. Around 33 societies are involved, like ASC, SME, etc., etc. So whenever we look at this organization, as we discussed earlier, we can mainly divide under 4 heads. One is EAC, Engineering Accreditation Commission, TAC, Technology Accreditation Commission, ANAC, Applied Natural Science Accreditation Commission, and CAC, Computing Accreditation Commission. So likewise, 4 wings are there. And if you look at those 4 wings, if you look at Natural Science and Accreditation, one, there is ANSAC, Associate, Bachelor, and Master degrees. 3 levels they are going to give. Whereas computing, only Bachelor. Whereas engineering, Bachelor and Master. And then engineering technology, Bachelor and Associate level they are giving. And here, when we look at this entire ABET accreditation program, we can say that this is a process of 18 months. If you start from January month of a particular year, so you can see that the release of the what is called result October of the next year. So it means 1 year, almost this 6 months. I mean, so you can say that 18 months of program it is going to happen here. And then these are the different timelines, which I'm not going to discuss much because time is not enough. And you may ask, is there any organization at national level which are ABET accredited in India? Yes. If you look at Bharat Institute of Higher Education, MGR Education Research Institute, Kalshalingam, and KIT, Kalinga Institute of Technology, different programs are there which are already accredited. Modi University, Shiksha Bhavan, Sandhana University, Thapar Institution, which are there. So whenever we look at this ABET, as we said, applied and natural science, computing, engineering, and then engineering technology. Yes, this is very important. Nowadays, they started giving the accreditation even to the distance learning online program, and some alternative programs are also they are giving. So with this brief information, of course, this is about quality, how to improve with this one, what are the criteria, etc., will be there. I'm not going to discuss here. Student outcome parameters are there, key parameters, A to K are there, which I'm not going to discuss so much on it. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So that's about from my side.
Thank you, sir. A very good explanation and very good, nice resource talk, sir. Now I request our former college principal, Dr. Penudu Mahesh Garu, and co-convener of this program, to say thanks to you, sir. Now over to Mahesh, sir.
Yeah.
So I take this opportunity to express a sincere thanks to Professor R. Venkatnath Garu for his innovative and resourceful presentation regarding various issues pertaining to the process of accreditation from various bodies. So in fact, we have heard about Naac, NBA, Times, and all these things, but you have taken us to various horizons with your presentation, that you have introduced accreditation regarding QAA, AIIA, CHEQ, ABET, and various organizations, national and international wide. Actually, the special and important issue from your presentation, what we have understood is, normally we think about getting accreditation institution-wise, but you have talked about, a global and program-wise accreditation. Global and program-wise accreditation, which is very new concept for all of us. So as you are explaining about various things regarding getting accredited even program-wise, so we are very much wondering, sir. However, your resourceful talk has taken us to new areas of accreditation process. And I think this is very amazing to all the participants to hear all these things from your side, sir. And however, once again, I take this opportunity to express my sincere thanks on behalf of SSN College and the organizers of this program that you have did your job very well, sir, and you have made a session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And now the session is left for the participants to respond to the resource person. So almost 115 participants are there without going to lunch, sir. I think all of them are very much interested in listening to your talk. And is there any participant to respond to the resourceful talk of the resource person? Good information is there with Professor R. Venkatnath Garu, who has awarded some 7 to 8 PhDs to his credit. In fact, the convener of this program, Dr. M.S. Sudhir, is also a research scholar who has obtained his doctoral degree under the guidance of Professor R. Venkatnath Garu. And has been telling us that sir is a very nice guru and nice guide, nice research supervisor in all aspects. Sir, is there anyone to respond over this session?
Probably this is lunchtime.
Almost
Better not to bother
9:40.
much of them.
Anyhow, thank you so much, sir, for your nice deliberations over the area. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mahesh sir. An announcement to all the participants. Evening session starts by 2:30, sir. Today, in every day we are starting session by 2, but from today the session starts from 2:30. So kindly join at 2:30, sir. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.